There comes a point in many men's lives when they begin to feel like strangers in their own story. Nothing dramatic has happened. You still wake up every morning. You still go to work. You still pay the bills, answer messages, and move through the routines that make up everyday life. From the outside, everything appears normal, but somewhere beneath the surface, a quiet question refuses to leave you alone. Where am I actually going? Not where am I going this week? Not what am I have planned for next month? But where is my life heading? You look around and see other people moving with confidence. One friend is building a business. Another is starting a family. Someone else seems to know exactly what they want and exactly how to get it. Meanwhile, you feel like you're walking through fog. You keep moving, but the destination remains unclear. And perhaps the most frustrating part is that nobody talks about this feeling. Men are taught to keep going, keep working, keep producing, keep pushing forward, but very few are taught what to do when they lose their sense of direction. So they continue moving through life, carrying a burden they cannot name. A burden that often feels like emptiness, like confusion, like the unsettling feeling that years are passing faster than they should. Marcus Aurelius understood this struggle better than most people realize. When we think of him today, we imagine a powerful emperor standing above uncertainty. But his private writings reveal something very different. Again and again, he reminded himself how easy it is to become distracted, discouraged, and disconnected from what truly matters. He understood that clarity is not something you receive once and keep forever. It is something you must continually return to. In this video, we'll explore 10 Stoic rules for men who feel lost in life. Not productivity hacks, not empty motivation, not unrealistic promises, but timeless principles that can help you find solid ground when everything feels uncertain. Because sometimes the problem is not that you've lost your way. Sometimes the problem is that you've been looking for direction in all the wrong places. If you feel lost right now, it may seem as though everyone else has life figured out. But history tells a different story. Many of the men we admire most spent years wrestling with uncertainty. They questioned themselves. They doubted their path. They faced periods when the future looked unclear and the road ahead seemed hidden. The difference is that they did not allow uncertainty to stop them. Marcus Aurelius is remembered as one of history's greatest rulers. Yet when you read his personal journal, you do not encounter a man overflowing with certainty. You encounter a man constantly reminding himself how to think, how to act, how to remain steady when circumstances became difficult. His writings were not instructions for other people. They were instructions for himself. That alone reveals something powerful. Even one of the most influential men in history needed daily reminders to stay on course. Epictetus faced a very different life. He was born a slave. He possessed no wealth, no status, and no guarantee of a better future. Yet he became one of the most influential Stoic teachers of all time. Why? Because he understood a truth that many people spend decades avoiding. You do not need perfect conditions to move forward. You need the courage to act despite imperfect conditions. Seneca echoed the same idea. He observed that most people waste their lives waiting for certainty, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for some future version of themselves to finally begin. But life rarely rewards those who wait forever. The Stoics never promised that life would become easy. They never promised that confusion would disappear. Instead, they offered something far more useful: a framework, a way of thinking, a set of principles that allows a man to keep moving even when he cannot see the entire road ahead. That is why these lessons have survived for nearly 2,000 years. Because every generation faces uncertainty. Every generation struggles with purpose, and every generation must learn the same lesson. Clarity is not found at the beginning of the journey. More often than not, it appears because you were willing to start walking. And that brings us to the first rule, one that completely changes how most people think about purpose. Rule 1. Stop looking for your purpose. One of the biggest reasons men feel lost is because they become obsessed with finding their purpose. For years, they carry around the same questions. What am I supposed to do with my life? What is my true calling? What was I born for? At first, these questions seem wise. They sound deep. They sound important. But for many men, they become a trap. Instead of helping them move forward, they keep them standing still. They begin to believe that life cannot truly begin until they discover the perfect answer. So they wait. They keep researching, keep watching videos, keep reading books, keep analyzing every possible path. Months pass, years pass, and while they are busy searching for purpose, life quietly moves on without them. The Stoics approached this problem differently. Marcus Aurelius never woke up with a detailed blueprint for the rest of his life. He did not possess a magical certainty about every decision he would make. What he did possess was a commitment to the duty directly in front of him. Again and again, he brought his attention back to the present moment, back to the next responsibility, back to the next right action. That is where many men go wrong. They want a complete map before taking the first step. But life rarely works that way. Imagine standing in a dense forest before sunrise. You can only see a few feet ahead. The entire trail is hidden in darkness. Most people refuse to move until the whole path becomes visible. The problem is that the path only reveals itself after you start walking. Direction is often discovered through movement, not through endless thinking, not through endless planning. Movement. The truth is that purpose is rarely found sitting alone in a room thinking about life. It is built through action. It emerges through experience. It grows through responsibility. The man who commits himself to meaningful work begins to discover purpose. The man who develops discipline begins to discover purpose. The man who serves his family, improves his character, and keeps his promises begins to discover purpose. Notice the pattern. Purpose is not something waiting for you somewhere in the future. More often, it is something created through the choices you make today. So stop asking, "What is my purpose?" and start asking, "What is the next right thing I can do?" Because many men do not fail because they lack purpose. They fail because they spend so much time searching for it that they never give themselves the chance to build it. Rule 2. Accept that nobody is coming. At some point, every man faces a moment that changes the way he sees the world. For some, it happens after a failed relationship. For others, it happens when they lose a job, face financial pressure, or realize they have spent years waiting for their circumstances to improve. The lesson is always the same. Nobody is coming. Nobody is coming to hand you confidence. Nobody is coming to give you discipline. Nobody is coming to build your future for you. And perhaps most importantly, nobody is coming to rescue you from the consequences of your own inaction. Many men spend years living as if a breakthrough is just around the corner. They tell themselves that next month will be different. Next year will be different. Once they find the right mentor, the right opportunity, the right motivation, everything will finally change. But life rarely works that way. Imagine a man sitting in a harbor, waiting for perfect weather before sailing. Every morning he looks at the sky. Every afternoon he studies the forecast. Every evening he tells himself he'll leave tomorrow. Meanwhile, other ships are already crossing the ocean. Years later, his boat is still tied to the dock. Not because he lacked potential, but because he kept waiting. This is exactly what happens to many people. They are not defeated by failure. They are defeated by hesitation. Epictetus taught that no one can live your life for you. No one can practice discipline for you. No one can make your decisions for you. No one can carry your responsibilities. The moment you fully accept this truth, something powerful happens. You stop wasting energy on blame. You stop blaming your upbringing. You stop blaming your circumstances. You stop blaming bad luck. You stop waiting for permission. And for the first time, you begin taking ownership. That ownership can feel heavy at first. After all, it means accepting that your future is largely your responsibility. But it is also incredibly liberating, because if no one is coming to save you, then your progress no longer depends on anyone else. You can begin today. You can take action today. You can improve today. Not because conditions are perfect, but because they never will be. The Stoics understood that freedom begins when excuses end, and the day a man stops waiting to be rescued is often the day he finally starts building the life he wants. Because nobody is coming. And once you truly accept that, you become far stronger than you were before. Rule 3. Build direction before motivation. One of the most damaging ideas many men believe is that they need motivation before they can take action. They think they need to feel inspired before they start, confident before they commit, ready before they move. So they spend their days searching for motivation. They watch videos, listen to podcasts, save quotes, wait for the emotional spark that will finally change their lives. Sometimes it works. For a day, maybe a week, they feel energized. They make plans. They promise themselves that everything is about to change. Then reality arrives. A setback, a difficult day, a bad mood. And suddenly the motivation disappears. The Stoics understood something modern culture often forgets. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unstable. They rise and fall. If your progress depends on motivation, your progress will always be unstable too. Marcus Aurelius wrote about mornings when he did not want to leave his bed. Yet he reminded himself that he was not born merely for comfort. He was born to fulfill his duty. That is the difference between men who grow and men who remain stuck. The stuck man asks, "Do I feel motivated today?" The disciplined man asks, "What needs to be done today?" One is guided by emotion, the other by direction. And direction lasts long after motivation fades. A father still provides when he's tired. An athlete still trains when the excitement is gone. A man building a better future keeps moving even on difficult days. Not because he feels motivated, but because he knows where he is going. So ask yourself, who do I want to become? What kind of life am I building? What habits will take me there? Because once you have direction, you stop waiting for inspiration. You stop negotiating with yourself every morning. And sometimes one man with a clear direction will accomplish more than 100 men who are waiting to feel motivated. If you've ever spent months waiting for motivation instead of taking action, comment number 1 below. Because the next rule reveals one of the fastest ways men lose confidence, peace, and direction without realizing it. Rule 4. Stop measuring your life against other men. Few things destroy a man's sense of direction faster than comparison. Not failure, not rejection, not even uncertainty. Comparison. Because the moment you begin measuring your life against everyone around you, you stop seeing your own journey clearly. Instead, you start looking through a distorted lens. Every day, the modern world gives you endless opportunities to compare yourself. You open social media and see men your age making more money, building companies, traveling the world, buying homes, driving expensive cars, showing off achievements that seem impossible to ignore. And if you're not careful, a quiet voice begins speaking inside your mind. Everyone is moving forward except me. I'm behind. I'm running out of time. The problem is that this voice is usually lying. What you see is not reality. It is a carefully edited highlight reel. You see the victory, but not the sacrifice. You see the success, but not the years of uncertainty that came before it. You see the result, but not the struggle. Seneca warned against this trap nearly 2,000 years ago. He understood that a man becomes miserable when he constantly measures his life against the lives of others. Because there will always be someone richer, someone stronger, someone younger, someone more successful. If comparison becomes your standard, peace becomes impossible. Think about how much energy men waste worrying about where they stand relative to others. energy that could have been invested in improving themselves, learning new skills, building stronger habits, creating a better future. Instead of focusing on their own path, they become obsessed with someone else's. The Stoics encouraged a different approach. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Compare yourself to the man you were 1 year ago. Are you more disciplined? More resilient? More self-controlled? More honest with yourself? Those are meaningful comparisons. Those are comparisons that actually lead somewhere. Because life is not a race with a shared starting line. Every man begins from different circumstances, different opportunities, different burdens, different challenges. Your responsibility is not to outrun everyone else. Your responsibility is to become the strongest version of yourself. The truly dangerous man is not the one who defeats every competitor. It is the one who refuses to stop improving, the one who keeps overcoming his former self. And when you stop comparing your journey to everyone else's, something interesting happens. You begin paying attention to your own life again. And that is often when your greatest source of pain starts revealing where you need to grow next. Rule 5. Use pain as your compass. Most men spend their lives trying to avoid pain. They avoid rejection, avoid failure, avoid embarrassment, avoid difficult conversations, avoid uncomfortable truths. Anything that forces them to confront the gap between who they are and who they could become. But the Stoics saw something many people miss. Pain is not always an enemy. Sometimes it is a signal. Sometimes it is a guide. Think about the areas of your life that create the most discomfort. The job you dread every morning. The relationship that drains your energy. The financial stress that keeps you awake at night. The regret that appears when you think about wasted years. Most people immediately try to escape these feelings. They distract themselves. They stay busy. They scroll endlessly. Anything to avoid sitting with the discomfort long enough to understand it. But what if the pain is trying to tell you something? What if it is revealing exactly where your life needs attention? Imagine a man in his late 30s who hates his job but stays because it feels safer than change. Years pass. His frustration grows. Eventually, he reaches a point where he can no longer ignore it. Only then does he begin learning new skills and rebuilding his life. Looking back, he realizes something important. The pain was never the enemy. The pain was the warning. It was pointing toward a problem that needed to be addressed. Epictetus taught that difficulties are not obstacles to growth. They are opportunities for growth. Every challenge reveals something about your character. Every setback exposes a weakness that can be strengthened. This does not mean you should seek suffering. The Stoics never glorified misery. They taught something far more practical. Face reality. Learn from what hurts. Because pain often reveals what comfort tries to hide. A man ashamed of his physical condition may discover discipline through training. A man under financial pressure may discover responsibility through action. A man who experiences heartbreak may discover standards he should have had all along. Pain is not pleasant, but it is informative. It tells you where growth is needed. It tells you where your current path is no longer working. Many men spend years asking where they should go next. Yet the answer is often hidden inside the very discomfort they keep trying to escape. Because pain does not always arrive to break you. Sometimes it arrives to wake you up. And once you stop running from it, you begin to realize another mistake that keeps many men stuck, trying to become everything at once instead of mastering what truly matters. Rule 6. Master one thing before chasing 10. One of the greatest advantages modern men have is access to endless opportunities. And one of the greatest dangers modern men face is access to endless opportunities. Every day, there is something new competing for your attention. A new business model, a new side hustle, a new skill, a new investment strategy, a new trend promising faster results and a better future. The result is that many men become trapped in a cycle of constant pursuit. They start one thing, then abandon it for something else. They chase a new opportunity before giving the previous one enough time to grow. They confuse movement with progress. And years later, they find themselves surrounded by unfinished projects, unrealized goals, and untapped potential. The Stoics understood a principle that remains just as relevant today. Power comes from concentration, not dispersion. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire filled with endless demands, endless problems, and endless distractions. Yet he repeatedly brought himself back to the same question. What is my duty right now? Not 10 duties, not 20 priorities. One responsibility, one task, one step. That kind of focus is rare today. Most people are trying to improve every area of life at the same time. They want to build a business, get in shape, learn new skills, improve relationships, read more books, increase income, and reinvent themselves all at once. The intention is admirable. The strategy is often disastrous, because divided attention produces divided results. Think of sunlight. Spread across a field, it provides warmth. Focused through a magnifying glass, it can start a fire. Human effort works much the same way. When your energy is scattered across 10 different directions, progress becomes slow. When it is concentrated, progress accelerates. This does not mean other goals are unimportant. It means every season of life requires a primary mission. One thing that deserves the majority of your focus. One thing you are willing to pursue long enough to become exceptional at it. Ask yourself, what is the most important area of my life right now? Where would meaningful progress create the greatest positive impact? Then commit. Stay with it when excitement fades. Stay with it when results come slowly. Stay with it when something newer and more attractive appears. Because direction is not created by constantly changing paths. Direction is created by staying on a path long enough to discover where it leads. If you're rebuilding your life and trying to create a stronger future, comment number 1 below. Because the next rule explores a skill that many modern men have quietly lost. The ability to be alone without feeling empty. Rule 7. Learn to be alone. One of the greatest ironies of modern life is that people have never been more connected, yet so many have never felt more disconnected from themselves. Every moment is filled with noise, notifications, messages, videos, news feeds, endless streams of information competing for attention, and whenever silence appears, most people rush to eliminate it. They reach for their phone, turn on music, open another app. Anything to avoid being alone with their thoughts. But what if that silence is exactly what you need? Many men feel lost because they spend so much time listening to the world that they no longer hear themselves. They know what society expects. They know what social media rewards. They know what success is supposed to look like. Yet they have never seriously asked, what do I actually want? Not what impresses other people. Not what earns approval. What genuinely matters to me. Marcus Aurelius regularly withdrew into reflection. Even while carrying the weight of an empire, he understood the value of solitude. He knew that a man who cannot sit with his own thoughts will eventually become a prisoner of everyone else's. The Stoics did not see solitude as loneliness. They saw it as strength. The ability to be alone without feeling empty. The ability to sit in silence without becoming restless. The ability to observe your thoughts instead of constantly escaping them. Think about the last time you spent an hour completely alone. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. For many people, that feels uncomfortable. Because when silence arrives, so do the questions they've been avoiding. But those questions are not problems. They are invitations. Invitations to become more aware, more honest, more intentional. Epictetus taught that self-mastery begins with self-awareness. And self-awareness is impossible when your attention is constantly pulled outward. Sometimes what you need is not another book, not another video, not another piece of advice. Sometimes you need stillness. You need space. You need time to hear your own voice beneath the noise of the world. Because the man who understands himself becomes difficult to distract, difficult to manipulate, and difficult to shake. And once you learn how to sit with yourself, you begin to recognize the difference between what deserves your energy and what lies completely beyond your control. Rule 8. Focus on what you control. One of the fastest ways to feel lost is to spend your life fighting battles you can never win. Many men do this without realizing it. They worry about the future. They replay the past. They obsess over what other people think. They become frustrated by circumstances they cannot change. And little by little, their energy disappears. Not because life is impossible, but because they are investing their energy in the wrong places. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is a simple distinction. Some things are within your control. Some things are not. That distinction sounds obvious, yet most people live as though it doesn't exist. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control how quickly success arrives. You cannot control what other people think about you. You cannot control the mistakes you made 5 years ago. You cannot control whether life always unfolds according to your plans. But you can control your response. You can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control your habits. You can control the standards you choose to live by. Epictetus built much of his philosophy around this idea. He believed that suffering often begins when we demand control over things that were never ours to control in the first place. Think about how much mental energy people waste every day, worrying about outcomes, worrying about opinions, worrying about possibilities that may never happen. Meanwhile, the things they can actually influence are neglected. They worry about becoming successful but ignore the work required today. They worry about becoming confident but avoid difficult challenges. They worry about building a better future while failing to manage the present. The Stoics would call this a mistake of attention. Your attention is one of your most valuable resources. Where it goes, your life follows. If your attention is constantly trapped in things outside your control, you will always feel powerless. But when you bring it back to what you can influence, something changes. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances. You start feeling responsible for your choices. You stop demanding certainty. You start creating progress. So when you feel overwhelmed, simplify the situation. Ask yourself one question: what is actually within my control right now? Then focus your energy there. Take the next step. Make the next decision. Fulfill the next responsibility. Because peace often begins the moment you stop trying to control everything. And strength begins the moment you fully control yourself. Once a man understands that lesson, he is ready for a deeper question. Not what he wants from the future, but who he must become to deserve it. Rule 9. Become the man your future needs. Most men spend a great deal of time thinking about the future they want. More money, more freedom, more confidence, a stronger body, a better life. There is nothing wrong with those desires. The problem is that most men focus entirely on what they want to have and not enough on who they need to become. Because the future you want is directly connected to the man you are becoming today. Imagine that tomorrow you suddenly received everything you've been chasing. The income, the opportunities, the success. Would you be ready for it? Would you have the discipline to manage it? The character to sustain it? The resilience to handle the pressure that comes with it? Many people assume success will transform them into stronger men. The Stoics believed the opposite. You must become stronger before success arrives. Marcus Aurelius understood that circumstances reveal character more than they create it. Pressure does not build character from nothing. It exposes what is already there. That is why personal growth cannot be postponed. You cannot wait until the future arrives before becoming the person capable of handling it. You must begin now. Every habit you practice is shaping your future self. Every promise you keep is shaping your future self. Every difficult decision you make is shaping your future self. Character is not built through one dramatic moment. It is built through repetition, day after day, choice after choice, action after action. Ask yourself, if the man I want to become were standing beside me right now, what would he tell me to do? Would he tell me to keep making excuses? To delay difficult work? To waste another year waiting for confidence? Probably not. He would tell you to begin, to take responsibility, to raise your standards, to do the work that needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. The Stoics understood that destiny is not something that happens to you. It is something you participate in creating. So stop asking only what you want from life. Start asking what life is asking from you. What virtues need strengthening? What weaknesses need confronting? What responsibilities need accepting? Because the future is not built someday. It is being built right now. In your habits, in your choices, in your standards, in the person you decide to become. If you've stayed with this video until this point, comment number 1 below. Because the final rule reveals something many men spend decades searching for. Meaning is not something you discover. It is something you create. Rule 10. Create meaning through action. Many men spend years searching for meaning as if it were a hidden treasure buried somewhere in the future. They believe that one day they will discover the perfect purpose, the perfect path, the perfect answer. And once they find it, everything will finally make sense. So they keep searching. They consume more information, read more books, watch more videos, analyze more possibilities. Yet despite all that searching, they often feel just as lost as before. The Stoics offered a different perspective. They did not believe meaning was something you passively find. They believed meaning is something you actively create. You create meaning through responsibility, through service, through discipline, through living according to your values. A father creates meaning by caring for his family. A craftsman creates meaning through mastery of his work. A man creates meaning by becoming someone he can respect when he looks in the mirror. Seneca once observed that people do not suffer because life is short. They suffer because they waste so much of it. And perhaps nothing wastes life faster than endlessly waiting for meaning to arrive. Meaning grows through action. It grows every time you keep a promise. Every time you do difficult work. Every time you choose growth over comfort. Every time you live according to what you know is right. The truth is simple. You do not need to find meaning before you begin acting. More often, meaning appears because you acted, because you committed, because you carried responsibility long enough for life to reveal its deeper value. Meaning is not waiting somewhere ahead of you. It is being built right now, through the way you live today. If there is one lesson these 10 Stoic rules point toward, it is this. Feeling lost is not a sign that your life is over. It is not proof that you have failed. And it is certainly not evidence that you are incapable of building a meaningful future. Sometimes feeling lost is simply the beginning of becoming someone new. A man with greater clarity, greater discipline, greater responsibility. The Stoics never waited for certainty before taking action. They moved first, and clarity followed. So don't leave this video wondering whether these ideas are true. Test them. Choose one rule and apply it today. Then another tomorrow, and another the day after that. Because your future will not be changed by what you know. It will be changed by what you repeatedly do. And if you want more Stoic lessons on discipline, purpose, resilience, and building an unshakable mind in a distracted world, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join us in the next video. Until then, remember, you do not need to see the entire path ahead. You only need the courage to take the next step.